Okay, when you're back here, watch out. You don't trip. It's a tetanus shot. That's stitches waiting to happen. That metal pipe right there. So watch that. This fence could be in better shape. This is the west side of the house though. This fence is installed backwards. What there is of it, it's installed backwards so that the rails could be used by the neighbor kids to climb over and go swimming. This is a swimming pool video. We do not have a service light for the equipment back over here. The timer is inoperable. It's not working. If you look inside of here, how do I know that? How do I know that? If you look inside of here, see the little gears? See those gears in there? You see them turning? You don't see them turning, do you? You know why you don't see them turning? Because it's not working. It's called a clue. One pump. The electric conduit is loose on this, where it attaches. You got electrical tape attached to the ground there. And one pump system, inline chlorinator. Inline chlorinator. The diatomaceous earth filter, you backwash these on occasion, and it just backwashes right out onto the ground. Right on the ground. Does not have a sitting drain. How about that? I used to do that a lot. So we learned, we got 21 psi. So we learned that our filter is sitting on the ground and it backwashes onto the ground. We learned that we don't have a service light. We learned that our electric conduit to the pump motor is loose and it's taped up. We learned that our control timer box is inoperable. It doesn't work. That's what we learned. Railroad ties last about 14 years. This retaining wall is too far from the house. It's beyond the scope of the inspection in regard to the house. Twice its height from the pool. It's too far from the swimming pool, in theory, to affect it. So it's beyond the scope of the swimming pool inspection. That said, it's old. It is old. I triangulated this as 5 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches. So it's a little bit lower right there. Not enough to worry about. This is called mastic sealer around the edges. And this mastic sealer, it gets dry and it cracks and it pulls away. That's what it does when it gets older. So this isn't a brand new pool, installation. It is a newish. I mean, it looks pretty enough, that's for sure. But and I'm going to turn the pump off and see if I can't get a better look at it. Plastic skimmers are only good for a couple, 3 years. Then they break. People step on them, they fall through them, they break their ankle. Homeowner's insurance policy. Your skimmer has a weir trap on it, which is a good thing, or a bad thing. I don't like them. Some people do. There's nothing wrong with having them or not having them. It's full of leaves and stuff. Got a little bit of a gap around our well right here. Okay. If a child is to put their arm inside the skimmer, and then that trap, that weir trap, grabs them like a Chinese, finger handcuffs, and they can't get out. And now their shoulder is higher, than their head, and after a while they get tired and give up. It's a horrible, horrible story. Horrible story. So that's why I don't like them. That's why I prefer not to have them. And over here, this is kind of amazing. I don't like to make stuff up, but I was over here and I started hearing some noise. And then I looked down and I saw a lot of air bubbles coming out of here. And I wish I could show them to you now. But when you see air bubbles come out of the jets, that means that you got an air leak on the suction side of the pump. I'm just Kind of confused why I don't see it now. That's weird. Besides the chlorinator, we have these floating chlorinators. When people go into the swimming pool, those come out. Children see those as toys. Get it? Got a little bit of algae right here. Children see those as toys. And so it's a flying saucer. So they throw it and they reach up and they grab it. And the water comes down on their face. And what's inside that? Chlorine. An acid. Right on their face. You don't want that. We've got some low voltage lights over here. I have yet to see how they come on. We're going to try and find out. I think those are low voltage lights. Otherwise, I'm not seeing any swim pool lights. You're supposed to see the bottom of the pool. In case there's an event, somebody goes missing, you need to see the bottom of the pool. We got a little bit of algae right over here. We've got some strange electrical. Okay, is that the way you decommission your electrical? It looks like fiber optic. That's fiber optic for the lighting system. Is that what that is? Is that why we don't have any lights? The lighting system has been decommissioned? Is that what we're looking at? There's where you tie the ropes off. Is that what we're looking at? Okay, that's capped off. That's capped off. So those are jets. That's where you tie ropes off. I'm not seeing any light fixtures. How do you do that? That's a jet. Okay. Coming on along. These are your main drains. You got two main drains. You got anti-siphon devices on them. That's all good. All good. And that was when this pool was installed. That was the way to do it. That was the best way to do it. But today we would separate those two drains by a minimum of 5 feet. So the drains are too close. And that was fine when it was built. Coming on along, I'm looking for and not finding. We do not have an anti-siphon device. So if you put this water hose into the swimming pool to fill it up, barometric pressure, all that pressure pushing down on the swimming pool water can come back up into your potable water system. It can do that. I'm not seeing any lighting switches. I'm seeing a decommissioned fiber optic light system over there. Let's keep looking. Inquiring minds want to know. Is there a light switch in here? That's going to be like for the patio. Huh. So what did we learn? We learned to take... Oh, you should have an alarm. That door should be self-closing. These windows should be self-closing. And they should have alarms. Different from your regular home alarm. Okay, different alarms than that. So that if you're in the other room and you're ironing or what, you're in the other room and you're ironing, you hear that alarm, you know that Junior is out here by the swimming pool. We learned to take the floating chlorinator out. We learned that our drains are too close. We learned that we do not have any illumination. We do not have a light. We can't see the bottom of the swimming pool. We learned that our mastic sealer is shrinking and pulling away. That way water can get in there and cause the apron to heave. Back to the lights, we learned that our lights were decommissioned over here, a little fiber optic system or whatever that was. We learned that we got a skimmer trap. We got a skimmer trap. We learned that. We learned we got a plastic cover. We want to change those every once in a while. That's what we learned. We learned that. We learned that this fence was installed inside out so that the rails will make a ladder for children to climb over into your yard, into your swimming pool to do whatever it is that happens. We learned that the backwash drains right onto the ground. We learned that the timer does not work. We learned that the conduit is loose on the pump motor. That's what we learned.